Welcome, seekers of wisdom, to a journey into the timeless teachings of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that still holds profound relevance in our modern lives. Today, we will explore a vital Stoic principle that can transform your personal growth and mental clarity, knowing which people to avoid if you want to walk the path of virtue and resilience. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with those who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." This simple yet powerful advice reminds us that the company we keep shapes the very essence of who we become. Think about it. How often have you felt drained, demotivated, or stuck after spending time with certain individuals? The Stoics understood this deeply. There's a popular saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. When we look through the Stoic lens, this means more than just influence. It means your very mindset, your emotional resilience, and your ability to live according to reason and virtue can be nurtured or diminished by those around you. Today, we'll dissect 7 specific types of people that Stoicism warns us about. Individuals who, if we're not careful, can derail our progress, cloud our judgment, and disturb our inner tranquility. This isn't about labeling or judging others. It's about recognizing behaviors that pull us away from wisdom and learning how to navigate these challenging relationships without losing our own peace. Before we dive in, I invite you to like this video if you find these insights valuable. It helps spread ancient wisdom to others seeking the same path. And if you're new here, subscribing and hitting the notification bell ensures you don't miss any future explorations into Stoic philosophy and practical life wisdom. Let's begin. Type number 1. The complainer. Everyone knows at least one. The person who seems to find fault with everything. The weather is too hot, the job is unbearable, the food isn't good enough. It's as if their mind is tuned permanently to the frequency of dissatisfaction. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, or even a colleague. Their constant complaints aren't just background noise. They have a profound effect on those around them. Stoicism teaches us that our energy is precious. Think of your emotional well-being as a reservoir that fuels your daily life. Every time you listen to someone complain without purpose or solution, it's like a tiny drip slowly draining that reservoir. Over time, that steady drip can become a flood of negativity, leaving you emotionally exhausted and mentally depleted. Why is this such a big deal? Because Stoicism isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about focusing your energy on what you can control, your own actions and attitudes, and letting go of what you cannot. Complaining without seeking solutions is a form of mental stagnation. It traps people in a cycle of negativity that erodes their ability to act wisely. Imagine you're working on a team project, full of potential, but one member is a chronic complainer, turning every meeting into a session of grievances without suggestions for improvement. The energy in the room shifts, the morale dips, motivation falters, and creativity stalls. This isn't just irritating, it's destructive. So, what would a Stoic do? First, limit your exposure where possible. This might mean spending less time with the complainer or avoiding conversations that you know will spiral into negativity. If distancing isn't feasible, say they are a close family member or a colleague, you can practice mental distancing. Picture their complaints like a storm passing through, loud, unsettling, but temporary and powerless against the solid mountain of your inner peace. Remind yourself that their negativity does not have to become yours. Another powerful tool is to redirect the conversation. When the complainer launches into their usual tirade, gently steer the dialogue towards actionable solutions or positive steps. For example, if they say, "This project is doomed," respond with, "What part do you think we could improve? Let's focus on what we can fix." Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This reminds us that while we cannot always change others, we can control how we respond to their negativity. Guard your mental space carefully. Over time, by applying these strategies, you build resilience and protect your emotional energy from being drained by chronic complainers. You cultivate a mind that remains calm and focused, even in the presence of negativity. As we wrap up this first part, reflect on the people around you. Do you notice a complainer who tends to pull your energy down? How might you apply these Stoic techniques to protect your peace while remaining compassionate? In the next segment, we'll explore the second type of person Stoicism warns us about, the drama magnet, who can turn calm waters into stormy seas. Stay tuned for practical insights and timeless wisdom. In this second part of our exploration, we turn our attention to a personality type that can disrupt your inner calm and pull you into constant turmoil, the drama magnet. Imagine your life as a ship sailing peacefully across calm seas. You have a clear destination, steady winds, and a focused crew. But suddenly you find yourself caught in a violent whirlpool, chaotic, unpredictable, and exhausting. That whirlpool, in human form, is the drama magnet. This is the person who seems to attract crisis after crisis, conflict after conflict. Their life is a whirlwind of emotional storms, interpersonal battles, and never-ending controversies. At first, you might mistake their intensity for passion or excitement, and you might even feel drawn to their energy. But soon enough, you realize that being close to a drama magnet is like navigating stormy seas. It drains your strength, distracts you from your goals, and threatens your emotional stability. What makes drama magnets especially tricky is their infectious chaos. Their problems quickly become yours, even if you had no part in creating them. You might find yourself embroiled in disputes, torn between conflicting friends, or emotionally drained from constantly managing their crises. For example, you might have a friend who is constantly in conflict with others in your social circle. Today they're feuding with Sarah, tomorrow it's Tom. They come to you for advice or support, pulling you deeper into the cycle of drama. Before you know it, you're caught in the crossfire, struggling to mediate or pick sides. Stoicism offers us powerful strategies to navigate this storm. One such method is reflective listening. Instead of jumping in with advice or taking sides, you mirror their emotions back to them. If they say, "I can't believe Sarah said that about me," you might respond, "It sounds like you feel deeply hurt by Sarah's words." This technique allows you to provide emotional support without getting caught up in the drama itself. Another strategy is to become selectively unavailable. Your time and energy are precious. Stoicism teaches us to guard them fiercely. This might mean setting firm boundaries, such as turning off your phone during focused work or personal development periods, or politely declining to engage when the crisis is recurring and unresolved. You're not abandoning the drama magnet. You're prioritizing your own tranquility. Seneca reminds us, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. When dealing with drama magnets, this means anchoring yourself in the here and now, refusing to be swept away by anxieties about what chaos might erupt next. By focusing on the present moment where you have control, you maintain your ship's steady course, steering clear of whirlpools that threaten your voyage toward personal growth and peace. It's important to remember that setting boundaries and limiting involvement doesn't make you uncaring. In fact, by preserving your own equanimity, you become better equipped to offer genuine support when it truly matters. Take a moment now to reflect. Is there a drama magnet in your life whose crises pull you off course? How might you implement reflective listening or selective unavailability to protect your peace without severing important connections? In our next segment, we will delve into the third type, the Naysayer, the person who undermines your dreams and clouds your vision with doubt. We'll explore how to transform their negativity into fuel for your own resolve. Stay with us as we continue uncovering the Stoic path to wisdom and resilience. So far, we've explored the complainer and the drama magnet, two personalities that can drain your energy and disturb your peace. Now let's turn to the third type, the Naysayer. Picture this. You're an artist standing before a blank canvas, ready to paint your masterpiece. Every brushstroke adds depth, color, and life to your vision. But then the Naysayer walks in. They glance at your work, and without hesitation, they begin to criticize. Are you sure about that color? That doesn't look realistic. Most artists never make it. Unlike constructive criticism, which helps us improve, the Naysayer's words are an unrelenting wave of doubt and negativity that slowly dulls your vibrant vision. They don't just question your ideas. They shake your confidence, making you question whether your dreams are even worth pursuing. Imagine you're excited about a new career path. You've done the research, talked to professionals, even taken some courses. You share this enthusiasm with a close friend or family member, and the Naysayer responds with a litany of reasons why it won't work. The market's too competitive. Do you have the right skills? What if you fail? Soon enough, their doubts begin to feel like your own. The clear, confident vision you once had starts to wobble. So, how can Stoicism help you deal with the Naysayer, especially when they're close to you? One surprisingly effective method is to ask them for advice. When people are put into the role of an advisor rather than a critic, they often become more constructive. For instance, instead of just hearing why your plan won't work, you might say, "I'd love to hear your thoughts on how someone could successfully make this career change." This shift can open the door to valuable insights rather than defeatist negativity. Another powerful technique is positive confrontation. When the Naysayer voices doubt, challenge them to think in terms of solutions instead of problems. If they say, "You'll never be able to switch careers," respond with, "That's interesting. How do you think someone could make that change successfully?" This approach encourages more constructive dialogue and prevents you from absorbing negativity passively. Remember the wise words of Epictetus. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Listening doesn't mean swallowing all criticism indiscriminately. It means discerning which input is valuable and which is mere noise. When the Naysayer's shadow falls over your canvas, take a step back. Listen carefully, reflect, and then continue painting your life with the bold colors that resonate with your true self. Don't let anyone turn your vibrant masterpiece into a dull, gray landscape. Now think about your own life. Is there a Naysayer whose doubts threaten to shake your confidence? How might you gently flip the script, inviting advice or positive confrontation to protect your vision and continue your journey? In our next session, we will explore the 4th type of person, the victim, the individual who refuses to take responsibility and instead blames external forces for their circumstances. We'll discuss how to respond wisely without being drawn into their narrative. Thank you for staying on this journey. The path of Stoicism is a lifelong voyage, and understanding these personalities helps us keep our course steady and true. So far, we've discussed the complainer, the drama magnet, and the Naysayer, each with their unique ways of pulling us away from inner peace and virtuous living. Now, we delve into the 4th type, the victim. Imagine life as a game of chess. Each player begins with the same pieces and the same goal, to checkmate the opponent's king. Success depends on strategy, patience, sacrifice, and thoughtful moves. But the victim? They don't see it that way. Instead, they blame the board, the pieces, or their opponent for every poor move. In their eyes, the game is rigged. They are always in checkmate, not because of their decisions, but due to forces beyond their control. Their story is one of endless misfortune, where they are the helpless protagonist, trapped by circumstances, unable to change their fate. You might hear them say things like, "I can't get ahead at work because my boss dislikes me," or "I'll never get fit because of my genetics." It's important to understand that some people do face real hardships or systemic barriers. However, the victim mindset takes this a step further. It becomes a permanent excuse for inaction and refusal to accept responsibility. If you're close to someone with this mindset, you might find yourself playing the role of their rescuer, offering advice, emotional support, and endless encouragement. While compassion is essential, Stoicism warns us about becoming entangled in this dynamic. Why? Because rescuing someone who refuses to take responsibility only enables their victimhood and drains your own energy. It's like trying to carry someone who refuses to walk. So, what is the Stoic approach? The Stoics teach us the art of compassionate detachment. This means showing empathy and kindness without becoming a perpetual problem solver. You can offer a listening ear and gentle support, but you must resist the urge to fix their problems for them. Setting firm boundaries is crucial. Let them know that while you care about their struggles, you cannot carry their burdens or be caught in their negative cycle. This protects your own mental well-being and encourages them to take ownership of their life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In other words, don't be dragged into bitterness or helplessness yourself. If you find yourself slipping into the victim role, even unintentionally, pause and reflect. Are you blaming external forces for your setbacks? Are you avoiding responsibility by focusing on what you cannot control? Stoicism challenges us to reclaim our power by accepting what is within our control, our choices, attitudes, and actions, and to release attachment to what lies beyond our influence. Picture the chessboard again. Being in checkmate isn't always fate. It can be the result of choice. Keep your pieces moving, make strategic sacrifices when needed, and play the game for growth and wisdom, not for revenge or pity. Reflect now. Is there a victim mindset in your life that saps energy and hope? Could compassionate detachment and setting boundaries help preserve your peace while encouraging accountability? In our next part, we'll meet the fifth type, the toxic positivist. Those who, with the best intentions, dismiss real pain with relentless cheerfulness. We'll explore how to balance optimism with authenticity. Thank you for journeying onward. Each step brings us closer to the Stoic ideal, a life led by wisdom, virtue, and tranquility. We've uncovered the pitfalls of the complainer, the drama magnet, the naysayer, and the victim. Now, we turn to a more subtle, yet equally challenging type, the toxic positivist. Imagine your emotional life as a garden. It has a rich variety of plants, vibrant flowers, sturdy shrubs, but also weeds and pests. This garden reflects the full spectrum of human experience: joy, sorrow, hope, fear, growth, and struggle. Enter the toxic positivist, the person who insists that only the flowers matter. They want you to ignore the weeds and pests, to sweep aside your pain with an endless stream of sunshine, rainbows, and feel-good slogans. When you share your struggles or sadness, their response is often a dismissive, "Just be happy," or "Look on the bright side." At first, this relentless optimism might seem uplifting, but over time, it can make you feel invalidated, misunderstood, and disconnected from your own reality. Because true growth and resilience come not from ignoring pain, but from embracing the full complexity of life, the light and the shadow, Picture this. You're going through a tough breakup. You're sad, confused, and seeking emotional balance. Instead of being heard, you hear, "There are plenty of fish in the sea. Smile and be happy." This kind of response overlooks the deep processing needed to heal and move forward. How do Stoics help us handle the toxic positivist? First, cultivate emotional granularity, the ability to identify and differentiate your emotions with precision. Instead of lumping your feelings into a vague good or bad, you learn to say, "I'm feeling melancholic because of this loss," or "I'm frustrated but also hopeful." This nuanced awareness helps you honor your emotional truth. When a toxic positivist insists, "Look on the bright side," respond with balance. For example, "Yes, I'm grateful for my health, but it's also okay to feel upset about this situation." Both feelings can coexist. This invites a richer, more authentic conversation that respects complexity. Seneca wisely said, "True happiness is to understand our duties toward God and man, to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This means embracing life's duties and challenges without denying them or escaping into forced positivity. A Stoic's path is not about ignoring hardship or putting on a happy face. It's about facing life's realities with equanimity, accepting both joy and sorrow, success and failure, light and shadow. So the next time a toxic positivist sprinkles their confetti on your carefully tended garden, is take a step back. Remember, a garden needs both sunshine and rain to flourish. Embrace your full emotional spectrum and nurture your inner growth with the richness it deserves. Reflect for a moment. Have you encountered toxic positivists who unintentionally dismiss your struggles? How might you respond with calm assertiveness, acknowledging both light and shadow in your emotions? In the next part, we'll reveal the sixth type, the manipulator, those who subtly steer your life for their own benefit. We'll explore Stoic strategies to reclaim your autonomy and script. Thank you for continuing on this path toward wisdom and self-mastery, as we continue our journey through the 7 types of people Stoicism warns us to avoid. We have explored 6 so far: the complainer, drama magnet, naysayer, victim, toxic positivist. And now we arrive at the final 2, the manipulator and the time vampire. Type number 6, the manipulator. Picture your life as a movie script where you are the main character. You envision your story, the plot twists, your allies, your triumphs. But then there's the manipulator, the shadowy producer who quietly rewrites your script without your knowledge. Manipulators are experts in emotional and psychological tactics. They might use flattery, guilt, or subtle deceit to steer you toward their own goals, often at your expense. You may not notice at first. Their influence can feel like friendly persuasion or reasonable requests. For example, imagine a friend who frequently asks you to cover expenses, saying, "I've had a tough month and you're doing well. It wouldn't mean much to you, but it would make my day." Over time, you realize your generosity has been taken for granted, but confronting them feels uncomfortable because they framed it as a favor. How does Stoicism help us handle manipulators? One effective technique is called fogging. This involves calmly agreeing with any truths in their statements while refusing to be emotionally swayed by their tactics. For example, you might say, "You're right, I've been fortunate lately. However, let's split the bill as we usually do." This response acknowledges their claim but maintains your boundary. Setting clear boundaries is vital. Learn to say no assertively and calmly. For instance, "I can't lend money, but I'm here to offer emotional support." This way, you maintain the relationship while protecting your own well-being. Remember Epictetus's wisdom. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Manipulators thrive on predictable reactions. your kindness, guilt, or need for approval. By responding differently, you reclaim your script and guide your life by your values, not others' agendas. Type number 7, the time vampire. Now imagine your daily routine as a finely tuned symphony. Each instrument, a task, a commitment, plays its part in harmony, creating balance and flow. Enter the time vampire, an unwelcome, screeching sound that disrupts your melody, turning it into chaos. Time vampires aren't always obvious villains. They might be well-meaning but incessant interrupters at work, or friends who flood your calendar with endless invitations you don't want or have time for. These small, seemingly harmless demands chip away at your time and focus. The cumulative effect? Fragmented attention, lowered productivity, and drained energy. How do we protect our symphony from these disruptions? One practical tool is the Pomodoro technique, a time management method where you work in focused intervals, traditionally 25 minutes, followed by short breaks. During these intervals, set firm boundaries. Communicate that you are not to be disturbed unless absolutely necessary. This protects your most productive time from being eaten away. When dealing with social time vampires, learn to say no without guilt. A simple, "Thank you for the invite, but I can't make it," is enough. You don't owe elaborate explanations. Declining isn't rejection, it's an affirmation of your priorities and self-care. Seneca reminds us, life, if well lived, is long enough. Time is our most precious resource, the canvas on which we paint our lives. Be selective about who and what deserves your attention. Conduct your life like a skilled maestro, holding the baton firmly, ensuring every note contributes to your harmonious masterpiece. Reflection and closing. As we conclude our exploration of these 7 challenging types, the complainer, drama magnet, naysayer, victim, toxic positivist, manipulator, and time vampire, take a moment to reflect inward. Stoicism is not just about recognizing these traits in others, but also about honest self-examination. Are any of these roles playing out in your own behavior? Remember, the path of Stoicism is one of continuous growth, self-awareness, and aligning your actions with virtue. I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Which type surprised you the most? Have you encountered these challenges in your life? How have you navigated them? Thank you for joining me on this journey toward wisdom and resilience. May your choices reflect your highest virtues, and may your life be the masterpiece you are meant to create. Until next time, stay grounded, stay wise, and keep moving forward.